But I wanted to thank everyone for being here today. My name's Dylan Campbell, and I work with Maine Parent Federation. So today I have with me Michael Scanlon from Connecticut and Alexis Wyman from here in Maine. And we really wanted to just keep this time as an open forum.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Scanlon. As Dylan said, I work as an advocate and project coordinator in Connecticut. And really, I'm so passionate about advocacy and youth survivors network, YSN, and really why I'm here. I think, I was on a recording just an hour ago before this, and I actually had like a moment of awareness. Actually, I'm like, what's like the couple themes of like my life and my career? And I feel like it's transformation, relationships, making things better than what they were. That old phrase, like leave the room better than you found it. I feel like that really applies to like why I love advocacy. It's speaking up, speaking out. I am a brain injury survivor. I did have a traumatic brain injury at 4 years old and live with mental health challenges. So that kind of my own lived experience, lived expertise really fuels why I'm so passionate about building those relationships, helping young people and families feel connected, feel powerful. How can I hear what's on their minds, what's in their hearts sometimes, what information can I share with them, what can we collaborate on? So like all of these reasons, all of my life moments, the ups, the downs, the positive, the joys, the fears, the whatnots, all of those things really exemplify why I love our community here at YSN and why Dylan and Alexis and we have so much fun and get along and just love what we do. So thank you so much for being here.
I don't think I can top that introduction. But I'm Alexis. I live in Maine. I'm a brain injury survivor. Relatively recently, I got my brain injury as a result of a car accident back in 2016. And now I don't know the right words to say it, but I think it's brought me to a different direction in life that I love. I now work at Goodwill as a career advisor, so I go into different high schools across the state, and I help students with disabilities learn skills for the workforce, which I love. And their advocacy is a big piece of it. I think Michael said it best. Using my own lived experiences has really driven me in how I help the students that I work with, using my experiences to relate to them. And I also work in Transition Maine, which Dylan is also a part of, where we help students transitioning from high school and provide them resources for after high school with their transition plan. I think that's all I had. I didn't really prepare as much as Michael did because this is my first rodeo, so you guys will have to cut me some slack.
So YSN to me, and I think I'll kind of back up, and I think what's really cool is I think all of us, Dylan, Alexis, and we're really big on we don't own the group, we don't own YSN. Everyone who comes into our virtual room, so to speak, has an equal place at the table. So I think I just want to mention that first off the bat. It's no one's group. Dylan has been the amazing moderator and host of YSN, but Dylan has said multiple times, this is for all of us, we're all equal. And I really feel like YSN is that virtual safe space. And I think we really exemplify that, where young people with brain injuries and really we're open, as we've had many discussions. I'm getting ahead of myself, but as we're looking to grow YSN, we've been brainstorming on a lot of ways to grow. But at the heart of it, it really is, think about it as your virtual safe space to share what's on your mind, to really feel like you're not alone. I think that I can't speak for everyone here on our call today, but I think so many of us, whether if not now, then at one point have felt alone, and that need for community connection. And I think that this vibrant, safe space geared for young people, and I say that as an adult ally now, but that is part of our model where there's young people and some adult allies, and in this co-created space where our meetings can be sometimes casual, sometimes structured, but it's always with, everyone in the driver's seat having that equal voice at the table.
I think very similarly to Michael, YSN has been a great safe space for me, and it's also been a really great place to just be with other people that may have similar experiences to you, because I can talk to my friends all I want, but they don't know what it's like to have a head injury or what it would even be like. And when I'm in YSN, these other people that come in and join, they have been in similar situations. They are able to provide support and feedback and just help me through situations. And we also, I might be only speaking for myself here, but I think we've made a great little core group of people that I do consider my friends.
Thank you, Alexis. And, we are friends for sure, all of us here. So I think that's one of the beautiful things from it. And
this is a good question. I think, the impact really is the beauty and joy of just trying something new and having those step-by-step brave choices we make. I think, so many of my friends and colleagues, there can be so much going on in the world right now, and it's so easy to not join in something. And so I'm always, life can be busy and hectic, and we have millions of choices from what am I going to eat to those big 2 a.m. in the morning, oh my God, what's going on in my life? What am I doing with my life type of questions and thoughts. And, I always feel refreshed joining YSN. And I think the impact really is, the beauty of having spaces where, we have our core values of respect, consideration. We have, our core group agreements. Really beyond that, the beauty of when you have those created spaces, the impact really is how, like I shared earlier, young people are not feeling alone. They feel like they can make a difference. Friendships are being made, information's being shared, lives are being changed. And I think that's really cool. And I think that it's done in a really casual way. And I just think there's just a spirit of partnership and collaboration. And I think it's really simple but profound. And I think it's kind of the commitment to what can we do to help young people feel connected, and I think this YSN is a response to that.
Piggybacking on Michael, he said some great things. I personally have really gained a lot of good connections with some of the members. I've added them as friends on Facebook, and I've been texting them. So it's really good to have that sense of friendship from a group that I was terrified to join, by the way. And now I couldn't picture my life without the group. I've gained so much information, and I've learned, I already knew that every head injury is different, but seeing other people that have had head injuries and how they present themselves, I've been able to learn about them, more about head injuries, because it's kind of my thing now to learn more, because there's so much to learn. There's so many ways to help others, and that's what my goal is personally, is to help other people in any way that I can. My goal is to provide support to not only other people in the group, but people outside of the group, to maybe not convince them to join, but maybe be like, hey, there is a space where you are heard, your thoughts and feelings are valid, come join us. Just for people to feel heard, I think is a really good impact that we can make.
Really see growth potential for YSN in just kind of, everyone here. I think it's showing up. So I think a commitment for our young people too. If they feel like this would be a great fit for them, they can join, and we'll help welcome them. And so I think that the growth comes from that personal commitment to any young person who wants that support and that connection. And I think the growth, the commitment for professionals like you all joining is that there's, we're so huge on those relationships, and just the power of it could be as simple as, telling your fellow colleagues about this. It could be as big as helping to secure funding. Who knows? I think it's starting somewhere. I think, we've had internal conversations in YSN as members where, I'm doing, regional presentations, attending conferences. It could be maybe looking at, how to replicate the model. Like if, maybe this model could work really well, but you want something in person, it could be Connecticut, Maine, wherever, right? That's something that's a growth potential. It could be, we really don't have any limitations, but we really believe in the power of having these authentic, brave spaces. And so I know, that can sound really simple, but I think there's, we'd love to be part of any conversations, any collaboration. I think, in my line of work, all of us advocates here, I think we all hear time and time again, how do I engage young people? How do I help them feel support? I think what we're talking about now can be one of those answers. And I fully admit, and whenever I host my own groups too, I am all about freedom of choice. And for whatever reason, we want this to be flexible. And so part of a pathway where, and be part of solutions. And so I really feel like the growth is just having these conversations. What can I do? Really talking about our strengths, what we're doing well, having that brainstorming time. So I really could see this also working well where maybe there's collaborative meetings or separate trainings to help train professionals on building capacity. Are there other professionals out there who want to learn about youth engagement, how to work with young people? Could there be a need for professional training or in the school system training on I could see it going a lot of different ways. I think there certainly is with the core tenet of honoring lived experience, lived expertise, honoring, including hope in young people. So that's kind of my my answer for that one, Dylan.
I would love to see YSN grow. For me personally, when I was in the hospital after my injury, they didn't know that anything existed in Maine. I was in Massachusetts after my accident, and they had no idea what resources were available to me. And if I had the power or knew somebody with the power, hypothetically, I would want them to tell people, preferably the doctors in Massachusetts, that we do have support groups here and we do have programs here that will provide support and just a safe space for brain injury survivors to come together and just have those conversations that I don't want to have with my mom because she doesn't relate to me. And this group does. And it's just so nice to have that space. But I don't know how I would have found it if it weren't for Dylan. I don't know how I even came across Dylan actually. But I had no idea this was a thing. I had no idea that YSN existed, and I just wish that we could find a way to get it advertised to not only healthcare providers, but case managers, any resources like employment specialists, day programs. I'm not sure who else, but any of the staffing for people that help others in any sort of capacity. I just wish that there was a way. And in the future, I would love, and this is not my 1-year plan, this is maybe forever down the road, but I would love one day for YSN to be its own entity. So we just have our little safe space that people can come to with questions for housing or social support, emotional support, or we know where the resources are. Have people that know where the resources are so we can help others like us, like-minded individuals, help each other. I don't know if that made any sense, but I have big plans for YSN, but I have no idea how to execute them.
I think, we've talked about it a lot already, but I really think, my mind goes, again, number one is loneliness and disconnection. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So I think, that I think is number one. For me, I think this sense of will I ever get there? So whether you want to call it hopelessness at times or frustration or fear, I think so. It's I think that I'm seeing a lot. I think, I don't want to call anyone out. I'm sure that's like a human experience, right? I've certainly feel like I've been an expert on feeling that way for a long time and still do at times. So I think it's, that disconnection, that loneliness, that fear. I think, young people, are, and it could be, those are like the big picture kind of more like emotional things. I mean, there were also, let's be honest, it's like housing, employment, like, right, all the other things we know, and just this sense of sometimes scarcity, like, and just the other shoe dropping, like I mentioned. I know the last handful of years has not been easy for many people. I think it's only amplified what's been going on. So I'll pass it to you, Alexis, for that question.
Yeah, so I actually had the privilege to help kind of moderate the YSN group because Dylan was out, and we had a new member join, and this new member was hesitant to participate because he didn't want to be a burden. And I feel like that is so accurate. I feel like since my injury, I just feel like I'm bothering everyone. I don't want to butt into conversations. I don't want to speak up. And I just feel like YSN gives us that space to do so. And so we were able to help this new member kind of participate, and this new member was able to just tell us like they were feeling lonely. Like Michael said, I feel like that's a huge issue, especially since the pandemic. I feel like people have lost their social skills, including myself, and I'm still trying to learn them again. So it's like retraining myself all over. So I feel like in general, people are facing loneliness, not wanting to speak up, and again, that feeling of hopelessness, like Michael said.
I love it. This question, it really is that, ideas to action. Again, having those conversations with your young people, with your colleagues, with family. I think like big picture, right? I think it's like the human to human thing is, there can be, if you see someone who could need support or struggling, it's having that brave conversation. Hey, I know of, a great safe space, a great resource. However you feel like that young person may be receptive, like, are you interested? It could be a conversation on, like, if you need support to get there, do you want me like off to the side? It's having those creative conversations. Like I said, it's passing it forward, continual conversation. I think we're stronger together. I see that the impact has been amazing so far, and I think that we can really help support each other, and I think and really have that mutuality. I appreciate it.
I only wrote down for a couple of notes on this one to just say, get educated about the program and get connected with others and just share, talk to other people, talk about it, brag about us. I mean, I know I do, but maybe if you haven't joined the group, you don't have, you don't know what we're about. So I would just say, take the chance, join the group. I think, like everyone said, nobody owns the group. So I think it'd be cool to have like spectators come in sometime to like learn about us, learn about what kind of space we offer to people, and just kind of word of mouth. I know it's a little bit old-fashioned, but I think that could work for us if we get that chance.
Both of you, Michael and Alexis, they've been with this group really almost since the beginning here. So we've changed a lot too. When we first started meeting, it was very casual. We just kind of have conversations. But about a year into it, we started thinking, what can we do for action steps? And what came out of that was we started creating newsletters. So last year in 2023, we actually created a series of 4 newsletters. They came out quarterly. And after the recording, I can show you folks what they look like. But this year, we're hoping to do 2 newsletters, have them a little bit longer, a little bit more refined. But what we've been doing with these is sharing our stories as young members, but also providing different resources. So we've talked about different apps that have helped us. We've talked about different games that we play. We've even highlighted our own pets and animals just to bring that human aspect to newsletters there. I just want to say I'm really honored to really work closely with you, Michael and Alexis, because this group wouldn't be where we're at today without your expertise, without your experiences. Both Michael and Alexis, they have vast experience in their personal and professional lives that they bring to this group. And I think really, if I try to answer this question a little bit, I think that's my goal as well, is to kind of replicate this and continue that, because the matter of fact is we're all getting a little bit older here. So, a few more years we may not be involved in YSN. So we want to get it to a sustainable place where, other young people can step into that role. They could be those community leaders. And like Michael was saying, nobody owns this group. So we're hoping that this can really be a platform or a forum for them to have their voice and share that voice. So thank you both for being around and being here.